Let's jump right in with our educational presentation. Whether at a Toastmasters meeting, a business meeting, or a conference, we are frequently called upon to introduce a speaker. But how do we know what to say? Lisa Lockhart wondered about that when she first joined Toastmasters. But by studying her manuals and talking with her mentors, she learned what goes into a successful introduction. Today, she'll share what she learned. Please welcome Lisa Lockhart with her 3 to 5 minute speech, How to Introduce a Speaker. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Did you all notice that my speech started with my introduction? In about 35 seconds, Annie told you who I am, what I'm going to be talking about, why I'm qualified to talk about it, and why it may be of interest to you. That means I don't have to waste any of my allotted speech time covering that information. An introduction can make or break a speaker. A good introduction will draw the attention of the audience from where it was to where the speaker needs it to be to speak successfully. You can think of the introduction to a speech like the front yard of the house or the lobby of a business. It's an invitation that draws you in. As a Toastmaster and in your speaking career, you're going to have a lot of opportunity. Thank you both. To introduce other speakers. But how do you know what to say? In Toastmasters, it's pretty easy. The speaker writes their introduction and gives it to you in advance. In other situations, though, you're going to have to write the introduction in cooperation with the speaker. But whether you're writing your own introduction or an introduction for someone else, there are guidelines to follow. The main purpose of the introduction is to prepare the audience for the speaker. You'll want to include information that builds the foundation for the speaker's talk, what they're going to be talking about, and why it's going to be of interest to this particular audience. You want to establish the authority of the speaker by telling us, do they have special expertise in this area? Do they have experience? Do they have special knowledge? You want to create a bond between the speaker and the audience. Maybe tell us if there's a special reason that the speaker has chosen this topic. And you want to create a friendly, positive atmosphere so that when the speaker comes to the lectern, they feel welcome. A good introduction is a mini speech. It has an opening, a body, and a closing. There are some essentials that need to be included in every introduction. The speaker's name, of course. And please make sure you know the correct pronunciation. The topic of the speech, what the speaker's speaking about, and why you care. And number 3, the title of the speech, which generally comes toward the end of the introduction. If you're introducing a speaker giving a Toastmasters manual speech, there are 3 other things that you want to include. The information about the project, that includes the manual they're speaking from, the project number, and the title of the project. You'll want to include the objectives of the speech, those that are required by the manual, and those that the speaker specifically wants to work on. And you want to include the timing of the speech. In this case, 3 to 5 minutes. The whole introduction should last 30 to 45 seconds. So you want to be short and be specific. The last time I was the Toastmaster for one of our meetings, one of my speakers was Miss Ann Hastings. This is the introduction that she gave me to present in large font so that I don't have to hold it in front of my face. If you've slammed into a brick wall, or if you find that the glass ceiling is descending upon your head, or if you hear yourself saying, "I'm so done with this," then listen up. Our next speaker will direct our attention to the avenue of progress, moving forward, adopting proactive behavior. In a speech from the Advanced Manual Speaking to Inform, Project Number 2, Resources for Informing, distinguished Toastmaster past International Director Ann Hastings will offer a solution to finding yourself at a dead end. The title of Ann's speech is, If the Horse is Dead, Get Off. That is not only a great introduction, it was a great speech. Once you've written or received the introduction and you're ready to introduce the speaker, lectern etiquette, Annie covered with you. When you're making your introduction, speak to the audience, and only then turn your attention to the speaker. Wait for the speaker to come to you, shake her hand, relinquish the lectern. I left out the part where you applaud, leave the applause as the speaker comes up. Once you're off stage, and especially if you're in view of the audience, pay attention to the speaker like Annie is kindly doing for me. And when the speech is over, come out, shake the hand of the speaker, thank them if you want to, and again, leave the applause as they leave the stage. If you follow those simple guidelines, any speaker is going to be happy to have you make their introduction. And now I will introduce my evaluator, Ms. Helena Jones-Eldling.
Whenever you give a speech, you will always be assigned an evaluator. And for me, this is probably the best part of Toastmasters because you get instant feedback. A lot of us can recall a time when we've given a speech and you've often wondered, how did I do? Did I get my point across? Did they understand what I was saying? So, without further ado, let me go over the speech that we just heard from Lisa. The first thing that she did was great. She gave us an introduction. This is, like she said, the most key piece when you're giving, when you're introducing someone, because it will tell them who they are, their credibility, and what she or he is about to tell you. So they can use that time to get right into their speech topic. She was really good with her hand gestures. A lot of times Toastmasters have an attitude, you know, we've got the crazy hands. But Lisa was very controlled in her hand, only using them when she was making a point or when she was demonstrating how to shake the speaker's hand. She also included bow in her speech. I didn't do that, but I see that I think I've gotten you okay. But this will happen from time to time, whether it's a dog or someone that's in the audience or whatever it is, you have to be able to keep that or sometimes include it in your speech. One, it will add levity to the situation, but also it will let your audience know, and you know, that even though things happen, you can roll with the punches and continue on with your speech. She listed the points using her hands and her fingers to let you know how many points that she was going to give you. That was good. The one thing that I noted, and it's just a small thing, when she was saying you are shaking off to she, it should be he or she, because you never know who's going to be coming up, but that's a minor thing. And then to top it off, she gave an example of an introduction. So all the things that she was telling you, while they may have been like, well, okay, I kind of got that, they may have been more abstract, she actually gave you concrete evidence of what an introduction sounds like. So all the things that she just said, you're now hearing them for one thing. The only thing that I would probably add is just to briefly go over each of the steps again, just in high-level bullet points. But other than that, of course, Ms. Lisa gave us a great speech on how to do an introduction. Thank you.